Good morning. Here it is, August the 18th, and my last video featured baby black Madeira and harvesting my air layers, 3 of those, and here they are. I took the liberty of cutting all of these beautiful black Madeira leaves off. You'll see it in the video that I posted yesterday. Anyway, I'm probably even going to cut these. You can just cut them if you want to. You can cut them with a scissors and shape them any way you want, just so you have a little bit of leaf but not too much. And I've done that here. I'm going to cut this part off in a little while and shape it up. This one I might leave. I have to think about it, but there's plenty of roots there to get this thing started. And here's a cute little baby black Madeira, and I showed that yesterday as well. It's all potted up now. Very simple, just use a potting mix. I use a slightly different mix than what you can obtain from the store, but it doesn't matter. A good Miracle-Gro potting mix, any kind of potting mix really of your preference, it should work out. Just don't keep it over soaked. Right now it is a little bit over soaked, as you can see. I'm making sure that all of the potting mix absorbs the water. Otherwise you'll have dry pockets in there. You don't want that. You absolutely do not. So oversaturate it the first time when you water it. Make sure that the water evenly distributes throughout the entire pot. You want to do that. And here, thanks to the spotted lanternflies, I don't have any leaves on this one, but it'll be fine. You can see it has very nice bud formation and nice and healthy, and it will be fine. I'm soaking it now, making sure that the water goes through and through. There's plenty of roots, so I won't have any problem. And I'm going to keep these, as I said yesterday. Let me get a little bit of we've been having rain, which we kind of need. Here we've been having sort of like a drought, so we welcome the rain actually, but it's not good for the fig harvest. But it's not hurting mine because we only got ½ inch, not much. But I just make sure I get plenty of rainwater. If you can get access or gain access to rainwater, that's always a good idea. It's delicate in the beginning on those tender little roots, you know, to not try and put too much human influence in the pot. That doesn't usually work out too well environmentally, as we well know. So I think that rainwater is a little more gentle. It's gentle, you know, and it doesn't have the chlorine in it. So that's just my preference. Right or wrong, that's what I do. That's what I always do if I can. And so I wanted to show the results of yesterday's harvest of my black Madeira air layers, and they're doing marvelously well. Now I'll keep them in the shade under a tree, under a large tree, so that they only get about an hour in the morning of sunlight on an angle, which will not hurt them or dry them or deplete their moisture. And then of course maybe an hour in the afternoon on the other side of the tree, same thing, on an angle, so we don't have to worry about any kind of evaporation or excessive evaporation or drying out. So that's what I do. Another note I might want to add to this very quickly is that just remember, when you're air layering this late in the season, I started this about 5 weeks ago, and I mentioned on my previous video that I like to start generally before the summer solstice. And I think that's a good idea. I've tested it for years and years, and I like the idea. It has something to do with the earth, the sun, the moon. I don't know what. It's nature, but I try to get mine in. These I did not manage to do that, but that's okay. See, they still work out real well. But when you're doing a tree that is in a pot, just try to remember that you're never going to get, probably not, I shouldn't say never, but in my experience, you seldom get the performance in a air layer while it is attached to a potted tree. You won't get the performance out of that as you will if you do an air layer on an in-ground counterpart. The in-ground trees just have so much more energy and vitality, and for some reason all that energy just kicks in and it produces a lot more roots. But hey, you know, people do it all the time. I do it all the time. You do what you have to do. It is what it is. And if you only have a certain particular variety that's in a pot like the black Madeira, you got to do it that way. And you can, as I've shown you, no problem. It can be done. And these little babies will grow up to be strong adults, and I'm looking forward to that in the future. I'm not doing a lot of air layering now. I might feature another one in a second or two. I'm doing champagne, LSU champagne, because I like that cultivar. And it is on an in-ground tree, so I expect that there will be plenty of roots. It's the same. I did it the same day as I did these Black Madeira babies. Okay, so let me put this on pause and see where I go from here. Thanks for watching. Something worthy of note I want to add to what I just displayed about the baby Black Madeiras. This is the mother plant, which I featured in a lot of other videos, Top Gun figs and things of that nature. I mentioned them in my last video. There's a few of them. Most valuable players. I have several on, it says Black Madeira in the title. Okay, the Prince of Figs. Then I have another one that is called Abracadabra Figs, and you'll see it. There's quite a few, because this has been such a successful enterprise, raising Black Madeira. I've been doing it for several years now. I've had nothing but luck and good fortune. And I just want to show this, though. I featured this fig, and that was just yesterday. Okay, I got the date wrong yesterday. I said it was the 18th. It was the 17th. Today's the 18th. Okay. I didn't even notice, because I don't even think it was. True, look at this one's getting ripe. This quick. And look, here's one that's turning. Can you believe it? And look right here, and this is right where the air layers came off, if you will remember. This is not Black Madeira. This is Smith. Let's open this up. Oh boy, I don't mind eating a Smith, even this early in the morning. This is Smith from another neighboring tree here. Oh, delicious. Superb. Wow. I love Smith. I love all my figs. But I don't have a whole lot of varieties anymore, because I've lessened them. It's not necessary to have all of these, to have too many varieties. Depending on and I always use this as a caveat, depending on where you're located in the country and what your zone is. But look here. Here's the Black Madeira that I'm showing you. These are Black Madeira. And look here. We've got 3 more getting ripe down there. Can you see them? I don't know. There we go. I think. I can't see through there. Maybe I have this thing on. I hope I don't have it on Zoom. I've always often said that my photographic skills, as far as movie making, isn't that great. I'm no Cecil B. DeMille. Okay, there's the 3. I think you can see them there. So, the Black Madeira are quickly ripening. And now I've taken the air layers off. And I'm looking forward to this harvest, which you can see is in plenty of time. It's really not that far behind other varieties. Okay, so it can be done, as I've explained in my other videos. If I can do it, you can do it. Black Madeira is a viable, I think, grown in pots, is a viable variety cultivar in 7A, and certainly in 7B, which I also have a property in 7B. So, by all means, if you have the patience to do some shuffling early in the season and getting that tree into shelter when it gets cold, when there's cold nights or a frost, if you get it out there early, you're going to get an early harvest. And I didn't do that with this. I honestly didn't. I hardly did anything extra. This tree has been treated like every other tree here. And you can see they're all together. Okay, and even as I walk around here, even my Italian 258 are ripening here. And these are main crop figs. There's an Italian 258, if you can see it. I can't see it there. I think there you go. Okay, and I showed this the other day. And here's one right here that really is, oh gosh, I'm going to pick it. I'm going to pick this. This is Italian 258. It's right. Oh, there we go. I did not even notice that. Look at that. This is great. I didn't expect this. I've got so many figs all around the place. I can't really inspect them every single day. Yeah, beautiful. This Italian 258. Not black Madeira. This came off the Italian 258. It came off actually, it came off the, I'll show you, and I've talked about this. It came off the Genovese Nero. What the heck is that over there? There's another fig that fell down. Oh, let me see here, if I can get in there. I don't know what this one is. Geez, ooh, I got to pay more attention here. This is probably a Smith. I'll take a look at it in a little bit. But this, look at this beauty. Look at that. Beautiful. Magnificent, spectacular. Let's break this open. Oh, wow, look at that. Whoa, look at that. Wow, doesn't that just look delicious? Woo, it sure does. Italian 258. I've eaten a couple of these. This isn't the first one. I've got several trees. I love Italian 258, and I recommend it very strongly to any serious figster that wants to grow figs. And of course, the fact that you can grow it in a container and it tastes good. It tastes good in a container. It does. The fact that it does makes it a very viable candidate for many people living in even colder than 7A, where I am, regions. So you can grow Italian 258. I did not give this any special attention, not any. And here we go. You know, well, of course it's in a container, and containers are faster. They ripen faster than in ground. I can't grow this in the ground in 7A, but here we go. I didn't even anticipate this, but if you don't mind, I'm going to take a bite. I know what this tastes like. I've eaten several today, and if you look back at my video on the Briba of Italian 258, Genovese Nero, which are the same in my opinion, caveat, for whatever it's worth. Here we go. You will notice that the Briba were among the finest tasting figs, Briba, that I've ever tasted. It was just absolutely an experience of splendor. It was wonderful. It was magnificent. Let me take a bite of this. Oh, God. You know, oh, wow. You know, Italian, for taste, viewers, Italian 258 and Black Madeira, I'll tell you, they're right up there. They are just magnificent cultivars for taste. Overall, I wouldn't give them the highest rating, not in my zone, but because of other factors. They're a little later than other figs, for example. But I'll tell you, they're not far behind in every category. They're prolific producers of very strong cultivars, very healthy. I don't have any problem with the fig mosaic virus and things that other people speak about or anything. Mine are just always healthy. I think you need to feed them, just like with human beings or little babies. You know, you have to give them nourishment. They're going to grow up tall and strong. You need to do that with your figs too. You know, you've got to be interactive. You've got to do it. If you do that, you'll be very happy. You won't have sickly figs growing on little flimsy branches, producing one or two or a dozen fruits a year. You're going to have a beautiful tree that's going to produce an abundance of fruit. You know, and look at this Italian 258. That's what you want. You know, and I've talked about that ad nauseum. I know, but I need to get it across because I want my viewers to benefit from what I have experienced in my lifetime. And so this other half gets saved for Debbie. And I'm going to put this down here or somewhere. There we go. And this one here was I'm going to give that to Debbie too. I'm sure it is a beautiful, magnificently ripe and prime Smith. So I'm going to give this one. I'm going to also give that one to Debbie. Okay. We share around here everything we can. All right. Wow. All right. So, Black Madeira, I love you. Thanks for giving me 3 new children. I promise to raise them with as much concern and with much appreciation and with attention and to detail that I would any other child of mine. Okay? All right. Thanks for visiting. Okay. Continue this video. Here's the other half of that Italian 258. Wow. And this is the Smith that I picked. I've got lots of Smith out there. I've been eating a whole bunch of them. And these are some Black Greek Marius, very beautiful specimens, very pretty. But the reason why I'm filming this little segment is because I found this Peter's honey, a ripe Peter's honey, on the ground just now. We had a little bit of a storm last night and some wind, and so I've got, hold on a second. I've got Peter's honey ripening, and then so I wanted to feature that. And notice how the in-ground Peter's honey, it's August the 18th. It's just a little later than my Hardy Chicago types, my Mount Etna types, and some other varieties. But they're ripening, as you can see. And so I just want to very quickly open this one up. Give me a second there. Wow. There, let me get out in the sun too. Look at that. Let me get out in the sun here so you can get a better look at my delicious. Ooh. Look at that. That is, can you see it? Can you see how delicious that fig is? You can see it. You don't even need me to taste it. You know by now what a delicious fig looks like. I sure do. Look at it. I'm going to take a bite of that right now. Such syrupy, delicious nectar. It's just delicious. I love the flavor of Peter's honey figs. You know, I don't see on YouTube, I don't see many people that talk about this variety that actually grow it in the ground. So it's never a good idea to give advice about a variety that you haven't grown yourself, especially in ground. This is not a good variety to grow in containers, as I've said several times in previous videos. This is a good variety for me. Now maybe in California or some other zone, I'm not claiming any knowledge about that. But in my zone, in crappy New Jersey, humid, rainy, wet, cold winters, you know, 7A, I will tell you that this is not a good fig to grow in containers. But, so anyone growing it in containers and then making or passing judgment on it, well, that's wrong. That's erroneous behavior and erroneous information. They shouldn't be passing it along. I'm passing along what I know about this variety that I've been growing over a quarter of a century. And you put this in the ground and you're going to be happy. I just showed you how beautiful. Let's go over to another one. I have another tree. Of course, I have a very large one in 7B. This is 7A. But you can see they're getting ripe all over the place here. Look how beautiful. Look at that. Yes, I'm excited. Oh, my neighbor with his lawnmower. But they're getting ripe all over the place here. And you can see them. I think that you can see them.